Hey everybody, Mike Slifer here in the First Alert Forecast Center, coming at you with some Friday night forecast info as we head into the weekend. The second weekend of September on the way, and you might have some big plans. A lot going on this weekend. We'll take you through, we briefly wanted to touch upon where temperatures peaked today. 75 to 80 for many towns. Groton was the outlier at 73 degrees. Look at Tweed, New Haven, making it to 80 earlier on. So for the Hartford area specifically, this is actually a couple degrees below where we typically would be this time of year. Yesterday was exactly normal at 78 degrees. And we're expecting, as we get into the middle of next week, especially, things likely become seasonably warm again. So if you like warmer days, perhaps something to look forward to. We also have not added to our rainfall tally much at all. And over the weekend, we are giving you the first alert to a couple of different chances for some isolated showers. But we're really not expecting anything too significant when it comes to rainfall amounts, certainly no meaningful rain, but that also means very little impact to your plans, which is some good news. So we'll take you through First Alert Futurecast here, starting off 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Eastern Connecticut actually sees a bit of clearing, while the western part of the state deals with a little bit of cloud cover, and this will be noticeable in our forecast for overnight temperatures. More on that in just a moment. But you'll note that as we approach the middle of the day tomorrow, approach noon, we'll start to see some splotches of green popping up here on First Alert Futurecast, indicating isolated showers. They appear to be quite light, so we could be talking about isolated sprinkles. Some towns, many towns really, will stay entirely dry. These will have a tendency to fall apart once we get later into the evening hours and especially past sunset, leading to just partly cloudy skies overnight into Sunday morning. Now, the cloud cover may last a little while on Sunday, and then we do basically the same thing in the afternoon, but it's even more isolated. So fewer showers popping up. They will all be rather light, and they move on out as we approach sunset tomorrow evening. Sunday evening. So when it comes to actual rainfall amounts, this is a good way to visualize it. Note all the zeros on the map and note the sporadic shading of that light blue, indicating very small accumulation. It also means that some towns do stay entirely dry both Saturday and Sunday. If you want to track any showers that develop from the free First Alert Weather app, you can do so with the free First Alert Weather app, I should say, right from the palm of your hand. Great thing to have on hand just in case you do end up underneath a shower or sprinkle and want to see how quickly it will be exiting your area. So again, we're not expecting too much of an impact to your weekend plans from this, but it is worth mentioning. Nothing to track out there right now on First Alert Live Radar. Here's a live look in our iCam in New London, currently 61 degrees, winds out of the east-southeast at 8 miles per hour. This is the southeastern part of the state. We'll now take you to New Haven, where we set a new world record today. We'll have much more on that coming up on the Wax at 10 and Eyewitness News tonight at 11. Here's a live look at our iCam in New Haven, though, 69 degrees right now in the Elm City. Off in the distance, we see the Pearl Harbor Memorial Bridge lit up, and we have great visibility. Our iCam view right now in Middletown, looking a little bit darker, but we can see some of the headlights there on Route 9, traffic moving along nicely. We'll take you live to our iCam in Hartford. So this is a live from atop Hartford 21. We see the top of the Travelers Tower, 65 degrees, winds out of the south at 7 miles per hour. And we'll finish with a live look at our iCam at Bradley International, Windsor Lock, 64 degrees, southerly winds at 11 miles per hour. So wind is still out of the south right now. Temperatures are dropping 60 to 65 for many communities. Salisbury already down to 55, 59 in Torrington. So this could be another night where we actually see quite a bit of variety in the temperatures before they reach their minimum. If you'll recall, last night it was similar, where some towns were cooler than others by this point in time. Some were still running much warmer than others. 69 New Haven, 55 in Salisbury, almost a 15-degree spread. So that tells the story pretty well right there. Temperatures will be dropping as the night goes on steadily at first, and we'll see most towns tonight in the 50s, which is actually pretty seasonable for this time of year. We're forecasting the mid-50s across northwestern Connecticut, but we could see some lower 50s mixed in. As we mentioned, we're expecting more cloudiness, partly cloudy skies in the western part of the state. So it's across the Litchfield Hills and into parts of Hartford County where some of that cloudiness could lead to temperatures staying in the mid-50s. But check out what happens as we go past the greater Hartford area, mid-50s in Windsor, New Britain, Glastonbury, Suffield, into the quiet corner. Some upper 40s start to pop up. So it looks like the coolest spots will actually be in the eastern part of the state, closer to the 395 corridor tonight. Even Jewett City coming in at 48 degrees, 54 though in Mystic and Niantic tonight. 52 in Colchester. We'll see temperatures closer to the upper 50s along the immediate shoreline, maybe even some low 60s in the greater New Haven area. As you head inland, 56 in Wallingford, 55 in Durham, 53 in Portland. Look at this, 62 in Brantford and Milford with some 60s along the shoreline in Fairfield County too. If you're planning to head up to the Big E tomorrow, we are looking at what will likely be a very nice day. So Big E, of course, is in West Springfield. Take a look at the planner here, 64 at 10 a.m. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds, maybe an isolated shower. Temperatures peak in the upper 70s. Humidity levels will still be rather pleasant, so it's going to be a comfortable 77 out there, but still could be a little bit warm in the sun at times as temperatures fall back down eventually into the 60s. We have our own event going on in Hartford tomorrow. On Pratt Street, Hartford Pride will be taking place. That goes from noon to 6 p.m. Temperatures will go from the mid-70s, peaking in the mid-70s, into the lower 60s as the event starts to wind down at 6 o'clock. But again, a mainly dry day. Just can't rule out an isolated shower. And this is as high pressure moves offshore. By Sunday, that front starts to drop south out of Canada. It will favor showers in parts of Maine. We are not expecting too much locally, but again, we can't rule out just an isolated shower here or there. Anything that does develop looks to be very light and very low impact. Pleasant levels of humidity for the remainder of the weekend and right through the middle of next week. Temperatures next week will start to climb. Even with the dry forecast, we're not expecting much of an increase in pollen counts, which is good news. Ragweed and grasses are the big ones this time of year. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, low to moderate counts across the state. If you do end up with a brief sprinkle, that will help to cleanse even a little bit more of that pollen out of the air. So perhaps if you suffer from allergies this time of year, you're looking ahead to maybe getting a brief sprinkle through. In the tropics right now, that wave that we've been mentioning over the last several days has a medium chance of actually developing and becoming named. So we'll be watching that pretty closely here. We aren't expecting to see, we are expecting, of course, to eventually see some sort of development as we still have a lot of time to go in the Atlantic hurricane season. Runs through November, so plenty of time. Not a shock, of course, to see something out there. Typically, actually, it would be a little more active than this. We have been running a little bit behind normal so far with only 6 named storms, 1 hurricane, and that was Aaron, which did become a major hurricane. The next name on the list is Gabrielle, followed up by Umberto, and we will be the first to alert you if anything does become named in the tropical Atlantic. So there's our isolated shower chance both tomorrow and Sunday. High temperatures will be around 80 on Sunday. We're back into the mid-50s overnight most nights next week. 78 Monday, 80 Tuesday. Connecticut Day at the Big E is next Wednesday. We're forecasting mostly sunny skies, a high of 81 degrees, and look at those temperatures climbing back into the mid-80s by the end of next week. Shoreline towns, 75 tomorrow into the upper 70s, near 80 Sunday and Monday, and we'll start to see those numbers fall just a little bit Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but late next week as another front looks to pass, it'll likely do so dry, maybe just a slight increase in cloudiness, but temperatures will actually both inland and along the shoreline make it into the mid-80s, so that wind shift to offshore will help to bump temperatures up statewide. Could be one of the warmest days that we have seen so far this month. On the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, shades of orange, light shades of orange indicate that there are chances that we will be a little bit warmer than normal. The question, of course, is how much, and this is, relatively speaking, a lower confidence forecast. Seems like there might be a better chance of warmth west of us, and things are looking a little bit drier than normal, too, in that same 6 to 10 day outlook time frame. So that'd be the 18th through the 22nd of the month, bringing us into the third weekend of September. So perhaps we'll keep things mild and dry as we get into the third weekend of the month. We only have a few more days with sunsets in the 7 o'clock hour on Tuesday, the 16th of September. Our sunsets will be back in the 6 p.m. hour. So we are losing daylight, just something to keep in mind. That does mean we'll start to see more in the way of foliage, though. Typically, we see peak foliage in northwestern and northeastern Connecticut in, say, mid-October, late October through the Connecticut River Valley and points south closer to the shoreline, and even early November along the immediate 95 corridor. So we still have plenty of time to go before we really start to see that foliage peak. However, this year, especially where it's been a little bit drier than normal, perhaps we will start to see the colors move in a little bit sooner. And if we can get some more cool nights on the way, that will help to speed up the process too. So we'll be watching very closely. But in the meantime, this looks like a pretty seasonable and pretty persistent forecast. Outside of the isolated shower chances tomorrow and Sunday, again, nothing very impactful. we're looking ahead to a dry and milder than normal week. So if you like those summer days or summer-like days where temperatures stay in the lower 80s, we have plenty of that on the way, and it will be accompanied by sunshine and pleasant levels of humidity. That'll do it for our First Alert Weather Extra on this Friday evening. We will have much more for you coming up on The Wax tonight at 10 and Channel 3 tonight at 11. Don't forget to tune in with Josh Ingrinelli and Mark Dixon over the weekend as they will bring you updates on the forecast. You can always track any showers with the free First Alert Weather app. Our next First Alert Weather Extra streaming live on WFSB Plus will be on Monday morning at 8 a.m. Have a great night and a great weekend.